Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's find out together if we're gonna have to cheat our way to the end of this. God, I hope not. I really hope not.
Got it.
We must act quickly. The demons are clawing on the gates. The veil must be closed.
I'm ready when you are.
I will unravel the summoning circles I drew so long ago. Waves of spirits and demons may come through. Dispatch them. I will begin. First, I must summon the magical energies. I feel them. They're coming.
No! No! Avernus! God damn it, Avernus! Okay. Let me pause real quick. Oh my god, I fixed it. I fixed it. Yes. Okay, alright, everyone, this is fine. It's fine. I've got it. I'm not 100% sure what I did, but I'm very excited that I did it.
Excellent. Invigorating that was.
Let me just quickly... Oh my god.
Let's see some blood. Good shot. They'll miss. I'm to die. Lifeless bastards. Push them back! Now it's better than later. It's a massacre and no one's getting out alive! I still remember my first battle.
Oh man.
All right.
Cannot believe that worked.
It's over. The veil is strong now. Stronger, at least. So what of me? Will you leave me to experiment in peace?
Again, Ren is always inclined to mercy if mercy can be given. But he also has a pretty strong moral and ethical compass. No more dark research. Find a humane way to help the wardens.
Without test subjects, without other materials, you would cripple my efforts. But I will do what I can in this endeavor. I have little hope of discovering anything useful. But if I do, you will hear of it.
You've done it, Warden. Soldier's Peak is safe again. That old geezer Avernus deserves the gallows if you ask me, but people will do queer things to survive. But if he does the proper research, without the sacrifices and blood magic and all, maybe he'll turn up something good. But there was no proof to redeem my family.
The past won't offer redemption. Try the future instead.
For so long, I was focused on the past, on answers. But I think I would have been better off had I stayed at home. Enough of that, though. I find myself at a loss. You've got a whole fortress now. I suppose I should start plying my trade again.
Soldier's Peak seems like a lonely place.
It is. In time, it might liven up, though. You're gathering an army, after all. A fortress may do some good with that.
Any chance I could convince you to stay on?
You know I'm no good in a fight, but I'm a fair trader if I do say so myself. My cousins have been looking for a safe place to store trade goods, and the Peak will do nicely. Whatever the Drydens have to offer are yours, for a sizable discount.
I will miss this place. It was infested with spirits and undead, but it had no birds. Not a single one of those malicious, spiteful little demons.
Good talk, Shale. Good fucking talk. Let's see. Let's see. Alrighty. Well, that's Soldier's Peak done and dusted. I'm so glad I managed to fix that bug. Like, extremely glad I managed to fix that bug. The most annoying bug in this entire game. I feel like submitting a bug report just to piss someone off at EA. Like, excuse me, I have a quick bug report for your 10-year-old game.
So you can get off my back?
Alright. Soldier's Peak. All done. Let's head back to camp. Let's do a little more dialogue. Maybe, I don't know. Perhaps start a romance? Perhaps, maybe. We'll see how it goes.
I think I owe you an explanation for what happened earlier.
Yes, you had me quite worried.
You should know that something happened to me at the tower before you came along. Remember my apprentice, Petra? She encountered a demon in the tower. It would have killed her had I not intervened. I saved her life that day, but I did not survive that encounter with the demon.
This case of death is taking a while to kick in then.
Let me explain fully. I engaged a very powerful demon to rescue Petra. It sapped me of all my energy and will and left me drained. It took everything I had to defeat it. And when I was done, I no longer had the strength to keep my heart beating. I remember my life ebbing away. Everything receded from me. Sound, light. I remember being enveloped in complete, impenetrable darkness. And then I sensed a presence enfolding me and cradling me, whispering quietly to me. The sensation is impossible to describe. I was being held back, firmly but gently, as a mother would a child, eager to slip from her grasp. I felt life and warmth flowing through my veins again. I began to be aware of small sounds and the discomfort of my hip pressing into the cold stone of the tower floor.
This is an amazing story.
The Fade contains spirits both benevolent and malicious. The benevolent spirits seldom make themselves known, because they want nothing from mortals, unlike the demons. It was one of these spirits that saved me. Without it, I would be dead. And it has not left me. It is with me, even now, bonded to me. You see, I am supposed to be dead. It is the spirit that is keeping me in this world. And this is not the way of things. Perhaps the spirit did not expect this, but it is weakening gradually. I am living on borrowed time.
Then we will make the best of that time.
Yes, that we will.
Oh, win. Oh, win, 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 win. I like her whole arc. And like I said, I know
You and your friends are formidable.
she's contentious in the fandom, but I really like her. I'm sure solely for personal reasons. I never really had a grandma growing up. Like, I had grandmothers, of course, but they died when I was pretty young, and they lived very far away, and I never really got the experience of having a grandmother, so I am very, very sympathetic toward Wynn, and I'm very forgiving of some of her flaws, let's call it flaws, yeah. Like her chantry sympathism, or her chantry apologia, the whole thing, like, I'm willing to forgive it because she's like a grandma. She's like my sweet favorite grandma, and I love her very much. Let's see. Okay. Let's also distribute some of this. Some of this good shit. I don't think we have anything for Shale. Zevran, I know we've got some stuff for you. You take that, and you take that. And let's give you this. And that. Right? 6 damage? Well, I mean, I guess technically the longsword does more damage, but, it's got some really good stats. Plus 5 damage, plus 3% melee critical, plus 4 attack. 5.6 damage. This does 4.8, but that has a 15%. Okay. There we go. I can live with that. Even though he is wielding daggers, I can live with that. Let's see. Alistair. Alistair, why don't you take the Warden Commander set? Because you look so handsome. Oh my goodness, look at my boy! Look at my boy, he's so handsome. I think he'll keep Oathkeeper. That's just a really good... Oh, win. Right. Take Surveyor. Get +1 willpower. And Sten, I don't think I have anything for Sten. Unless you want to give him the heavy chainmail set. I'm missing part of the heavy chainmail set. That's fine. Morgan, nothing for you. Oh, Zevran, do you want the angled strikers? Yeah, you sure do. You sure do want those angled strikers. And let's also give you the lion's paw. Alright. Looks pretty good to me. Let's sell one more time.
Something you need? I'm sure.
Let's see. Save that. Save that just in case. I'll save that. There. Okay. And while we're at it, let's give out some gifts, because I know I've got some. None for Shale. I know I have the Dalish gloves for Zevran, but like I said, I'm very finicky. I don't like to give out the special gifts until they mention them. Win. I don't have anything for Win. Fenharrow, I don't have anything for Fenharrow. Alistair. Yeah, it's mostly just Oghren, huh? Yeah, it's mostly just fucking Oghren. Yeah. Alright. Alright, whatever. Ogren's gonna have a really good day when he meets the Warden for the first time. Morrigan.
I await your command.
So life in the wilds must have been very lonely.
At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
Ren, extremely Dalish. That sounds wonderful.
For a time, but one can only remain a child for so long. I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. 'Twas encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
I can't imagine Flemeth was pleased.
She was not. Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken.
But you were just a child.
And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination. Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
Those are harsh lessons to teach a child.
Perhaps, but they were necessary still. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
It speaks.
I have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
How did you end up in Honleith? Do you remember?
Oh yes, that I remember quite well. My former master, the Mage Wilhelm, he brought me. As I recall, he had acquired some position with whatever lord ruled the land. I, being little more than a glorified possession at the time, was brought along. Oh, how he enjoyed impressing the villagers with me. Gollum snarl at that villager there, be fearsome. And of course, I would have to do it.
I would have thought you'd enjoy scaring humans.
I'd have happily stomped them all into paste, and then ripped down their little houses and stomped on them, too. In fact, after 30 years of watching them, I'd do it twice. What I didn't like was being ordered to do it. Dangled in front of those frightened morons like some scary thing. Once I was a statue, it took those villagers years before they'd even approach me. The first one to actually work up the nerve to touch me urinated himself. Ugh.
But why were you out in front of the tower?
That is where Wilhelm kept me. He wanted me out in the open where I could be frightening like a scarecrow. I was supposed to watch for thieves. Pah! Plus, his wife didn't want me indoors. She said there wasn't room for me. Hag.
His wife?
I was once larger, 10 feet tall. Then the loathsome hag complained that I couldn't fit through the doors. So the mage had me shrunk down. Can it believe it? And she still wanted me out.
How does someone shrink a golem?
With a chisel. And a lot of nerve.
You didn't like this Wilhelm, I take it.
He did love using that control rod. Fondled it so much, his wife actually threatened to throw it in the lake. Ha! I would have liked to have seen that. Which reminds me, where did it find the rod? Did it pay a great deal for it?
Oh, yeah. A fortune, in fact.
Good. Clearly, I am worth it.
Do you remember anything before Honleith?
I traveled with the mage. He did a lot of traveling, I remember that. But where we went, it is rather fuzzy. I remember great battles, fighting many humans long ago. They were all very soft and squishy. And before that, No, there are only images. I was somewhere dark.
Just how old are you exactly?
I have no idea. Wilhelm used to brag that the dwarves stopped making golems centuries ago. I do not age as you soft creatures do. Sadly, my memory is no better. Plus, I get bored and stop paying attention.
Interesting. I'm done asking about that.
Good. I was just about done talking about it. It does like to have a good chat now and again, doesn't it?
I don't think there's any more dialogue for Sten, not until we start his personal quest.
You called.
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
I think I've already done this dialogue. Yeah, okay.
Very well.
Let's go.
As you wish.
Yeah. Alistair,
Something on your mind?
I have some questions.
Of course.
Why have you remained a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
I thought Templars wore heavy plate mostly.
That's just in public. In private, we have these yellow and purple tunics, right? Much more comfortable, and you don't break the beds when you jump on them during a pillow fight.
You had lots of these pillow fights, I take it.
Pillow fights? I mean, no, of course not. I meant sword fights. With rusty swords. dripping with acid, the kind that puts hair on your chest. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
Then make up something more exciting.
You know, I like the way you think. You're all right. If you're really curious, then I'll tell you. The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
What did you enjoy about the training?
The education, mostly, but also the discipline. You need to have a disciplined mind in order to use the abilities we have. It was difficult, but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
Anywhere my clan goes is home.
You must miss them a great deal. Duncan and the Grey Wardens are the closest I ever got to that kind of family. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way.
They can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
Alistair's a good bean. A very good bean.
So, tell me, how did you become a Grey Warden?
I was tainted, and only the joining could save me.
Then you became a Grey Warden out of necessity. But Duncan must also have seen something special in you. The Order does not take in recruits just to save their life. You must be proud to be able to represent your tribe and the Dalish as a Grey Warden.
I just hope I can show the strength Duncan saw in me.
Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be.
I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died, and this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death or hate it. Death is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free.
Harren Pyvel used to say much the same thing.
Then perhaps you know this song.
Alright, time for a musical interlude. My favorite thing about this song is that it's obviously not Liliana's voice actor singing. Like, it's obviously not Liliana's VA. So this song is called Inuthenara. And it is a funerary song in the Dalish culture. It's sung on the passing of a clan member. The lyrics of Inuthenara, they're very reflective. If you get the opportunity, I do recommend looking at the translation. It does feature, actually, in Wolf, in Crit Fail Club Wolf. Inuthenara narivas. In waking sleep lies freedom. And I think that's a good place to stop for tonight. When next we meet, we'll finish talking up to Wynn and Zevran, and then, reluctantly, we will head to Orzammar into the deep roads. See you then.